What is up, everybody? It's your guy Walk Escape here, and I've been doing a lot of bossing lately, and it's left me with a whole lot of resources that I need to figure out how to process because, I'm one of these dudes. I got these battle staves to alch, I got more battle staves to make, glass to blow, potions to make, longbows to fletch, you name it. And the thing is, I get tired of doing these things at the old Grand Exchange. It's nice to be here every once in a while, really see how bad the gambling problem is, how bad the scamming problem is, but I play this game explicitly to not socialize, so I thought it'd be fun, before I get into processing all of these resources, to take a look at all of the different banks that people don't really use. They slide under the radar. I've, even before making this, like to think of myself as someone who gets around the different banks and gives them a little love, but in looking at the list on the wiki of every bank in the game, I've realized that there's some I didn't even know existed. And that list is clutch, by the way. It means I didn't have to do any of my own research for this video, which makes it one of my favorite type of videos to make. And with that, let's get into it. The top 10 most abandoned banks in all of RuneScape. Hopefully some of these you've forgotten about, or maybe didn't even know existed. Number 10 is Burgh De Rott Bank. Now you may remember this from about 10 years ago when you finished in aid of the, I'm going to call them vampire hunters so I don't butcher that one and get made fun of in the comments. We came in, we fixed up this town, put this bank into shape, gave my guy Cornelius a job, and then we pretty much blew town and never came back. This is a fun one if you want a little bit of a spooky aspect. You can see how much the town has progressed since 10 years ago when they helped them out. Really not much. Everyone still has sores all over their bodies. Everything's in rubble. You'd think they'd help themselves a little bit, but I guess that's our job. Now, cool thing about my guy Cornelius here is he refuses to sell us extra bank spaces. He's like the only banker in the game that'll do that. So that docks a few points. Actually, no, what am I saying? That docks way more than a few points. This is very pressing. Jagex, you need to come here, fix this immediately. I guarantee that if you do, this bank will blow up hundreds of people, every world. Get on it. Number 9 on our list here is going to be Mos Le Harmless Bank. Now this one, I'm not quite sure why it's not used more. It's got great access to the massive Mos Le Harmless jungle, which we all know and love to frequent. And it's right across from 2 bars, so you can stroll across the street, get your money, stroll back across, spend it all on grog, and come right back. Even the bankers here are pirates too, which is pretty cool. If you get lonely while you're skilling, you can talk to them and tell them you've got some stuffed tea stash. And it's just a nice, small little bank. Good ambiance. I'd rate this one 10 out of 10. It needs to get more appreciation. Get out of here, Patchy. Number 8, Dorgesh Kaan Bank. Now this is actually one of my personal favorites. I spent a lot of time here maxing, looking at these hunchbacked little 3-foot goblins, just constantly getting them to fetch my shit from downstairs. They must hate me. This is one where I've just really always enjoyed it. It's a cool little room. You got the light orbs. You got the safes made of gold. That's honestly pretty stupid. You're supposed to put the gold inside of it. You could just steal the whole safe. Fucking idiots. But whatever. I still love them. I like spending time here. Number 7, we've got Keldagrim Bank. Now this is just one quick train ride away from our last spot. But I think it's even less utilized because, let's be honest, those cave goblins are a lot easier on the eyes than these dwarves. But it's a nice little secluded bank. I guarantee you won't run into anyone else here if you're trying to do skilling or whatnot. So yeah, come give it a little love. I certainly won't. I'm going to be chilling with the cave goblins, but that's your job. Number 6, Kourend Castle Bank. Now this is the first one that I didn't even know existed before I started looking into making this video. I could see how some people might use it though. You got the catacombs down there if you don't have easy access to a house, but other than that, I literally didn't even know this one existed. You gotta go up 2 stories. It's clearly trying to be Lumbridge, but it's not Lumbridge. Look, they've even got a Duke Horatio look-alike knockoff great value guy. I'm not falling for it. You ain't Lumbridge Castle. It is a nice little aesthetic though. Small room, pretty quiet. I hopped around a few worlds, didn't see anyone here, so I don't think people use it for anything. Who knows? Maybe you're an idiot like me and you just didn't even know this thing existed. Number 5, Corsair Cove Bank. Now this one you've probably seen during the quest, but never really bothered to use because there's nothing around here. I think there's some ogres maybe in a dungeon, and that is literally about it. I mean, what, am I going to bank my Crimson Swift loot from level 1 Hunter? Nah, I don't think so. So, my guy Yusuf is pretty lonely out here. He's only got his cannon to talk to. Show him some love. I'm sure if you hop through every world, every server that they have of this game, you're never going to run into another person here, so you can do whatever you want. Number 4 is Sophanem Bank. Now, I don't know which pharaoh was in charge of town when they needed to build a bank, but he wasn't the sharpest guy. If you got your citizens down in the market and they're a little short on change, well, they got to cross all the way through town, go into a temple, climb down a ladder, and then finally get access to their funds. But that does mean that this thing is pretty tucked away and isolated. You're not going to run into too many people. Maybe the isolated lunatic that's killing the warriors down there or doing a quest. That's basically all you're going to see. Everyone is in love with the Necropolis Bank for Toa. That's where everyone's at. No one's over here. Get yourself some privacy. Come hang out. Number 3, the Legends Guild Bank. Now here's another one that I maybe knew existed at the very back of my mind, but haven't thought of it in about a decade. In order to access this one, you're going to need to be a legend, but you've already got that taken care of. You're watching a walk escape video. I think you also might need to kill this massive and dangerous black demon, but that's an easier requirement. Anyway, once you get that over with, you're going to want to kick your feet up and relax, blow some glass as they do, and you can do all of that right here in the Legends Guild, and you are never going to run into another person, guarantee it. Why'd they make the demon black? I don't know, I didn't write the quest. Number 2, the runner-up is going to be the Woodcutting Guild Bank, and I know what you're thinking. Walk, you're out of your mind. People are always using that shit, chopping down trees, banking their logs, getting gains, getting money. No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one in this cave where you have to climb over some roots, get way out of the way, run past these big-ass trees and hope they don't kill you on your way over, that no one uses. These things are totally dead content. Go all of the way back through and just keep going. It'll come up eventually, I promise you. Step over another route, and now that you've completed your odyssey, you are rewarded with, I think, the most unused bank chest in the game. Next one's not a chest, so I can claim that without really lying. And yeah, I think you could get every single bankable skill from level 1 to 99 here and never run into another player. Don't quote me on that. Number 1 least used bank in old school RuneScape, and it's not even close, Tarn's Lair. Now you're going to run into my guy Odavakar in here. If you manage to get past the monsters without dying, they actually almost got me on my way in. And if you are willing to pay him 100 GP, he will allow you to access your bank. So I can guarantee that this one you're not going to run into other people. The other banks, yeah, you might see them here and there, but this guy is charging us to get our own stuff. It's a total scam. Yes, he's got an awful life. He's totally insane. No one interacts with him. He doesn't even set the bank on the floor next to him. He's just been deadlifting hundreds, possibly thousands of pounds for decades. Absolute beast, Odavakar. You have my respect, but damn, I'm not going to be banking with you. I don't think anyone is going to be banking with you at those rates. Could cost you a few 100,000 extra gold just to get 99 in crafting or something like that. Plus you're losing an inventory space. Just not worth. Only come here if you really, really want to get away from people. And I know what you're going to say. Walk, Tarn's Lair is like the best content in the game. Of course you're going to be wanting a bank while you do it. But on principle, I'm just going to go bank somewhere else, save my 100 GP. That is going to do it for the most abandoned / least used banks in RuneScape. Now I was going to add this one on the list on Fossil Island, but weirdly when I hop through worlds there's people at the bank like all of the time. I don't really know why, but I did do world hopping at each of these banks to make sure they were actually abandoned, so don't at me and say that you use it all the time. I didn't see you, so I know you're lying. Let me know what other banks in the game you like to go to when you just want a little peace and quiet, what I might have missed out on, and which ones you think I'm stupid for including. Other than that, I appreciate you watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.